Yo there, morning guys, it's Nick with Couch Potato Fights. Yeah, I just wanted to get up first thing really, before I sorted that out, because it's getting too long for me. I like fucking Homer Simpson these days, and I might sort that out before work, I don't know. The thing is, when you go to get your beard trimmed, you say, can you keep it the same length or similar length? And sometimes they just take it most off. Whenever I get it cut too much or get too much taken off, maybe I'm overcompensating for lack of hair there. And I always like, shit, I should have kept my beard. Anyway, I digress already. Yeah, so basically, I got home yesterday, got the kettle on, got a nice cup of tea, pack of digestives. So I thought I'll have a nice dunk while I'm watching the press conferences from yesterday. Because there was a press conference for Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen too, Wardley versus Justice Huni, and there was a misfits one as well. Yeah, I know you're probably rolling your eyes, but I thought I'll watch all three. The Misfits one, I didn't watch that in its entirety. I'll do a separate video on that because that's more fun. That'll be like a 5-minute video, I think. Like, who the fuck is Wakey Wines? So anyway, yeah, press conference, Fisher Allen too. So we'll get straight into it. There's not that much you can get from press conferences, really, apart from a bit of back and forth. Sometimes you could think if someone's been overly quiet, they may be nervous or scared or whatever. But then you may see it like, especially UFC is a good example. At a press conference, there may be a Brazilian guy sat there with his arms crossed, not really saying much. You know, is he scared about it? Is he a bit tentative? And then he'll end up knocking the other guy out in 10 seconds. You can't really get much from him. From this one, basically, they went over the undercard, and press conferences are a good opportunity, really, to familiarise yourself with people on the undercard. Because I'll be honest, I don't think the card's great. Again, I'm not a boxing purist, so a lot of these names I've not heard anyway. So yeah, give us your thoughts about that. If the names I should know, why should I know them? Should I check them out on YouTube or whatever? I've heard of Qualus before, but otherwise I've not heard of any of the fighters. Got someone called Taylor Bevan from Southampton who's 8-0. Apparently has crazy fans, according to Eddie Hearn. You've got Shannon Ryan, who's 8-1. She's looking to bounce back from a loss. You've got Lilai Buttigieg, who looks like a prospect as well. Nathan Qualis, who's 13-1, a Scouse guy. He's coming off the back of a bad injury. And you've got John Hedges, who moved to Manchester to train Ricky Hatton. Skimming over that, I know a bit more about the fighters now. So when I'm watching the full event, to be fair, it's good. I sort of know I have a bit of a backstory on who I'm watching now and the records and whatnot. The main fight, obviously, the press conference is very respectful, to be honest. Eddie Hearn did a good job of being the compare. Yeah, it's very respectful. The coaches went first. They both realised that it was a very close fight. Dave Allen's coach did say he thought he won the fight, which is fair enough. Most people do agree with him and think he won the fight as well. Yeah, it wasn't, I didn't really expect that much spiciness to be it. Dave Allen says he's genuinely looking forward to the fight, and it's been a long time since he's felt that way. He seems in a really good place, to be honest. If you're watching his videos, I watch his videos that he posts now, and then he seems to be enjoying it and having a laugh as well. Alan wants to win, and the trilogy. So one knows I'm on my way home, actually. I had no idea the press conference was tonight, because I had a busy day, so I couldn't really keep track of it. Yeah, I was thinking, will they do a trilogy if Alan wins this one? If the fight's as good as it was last time, I'd happily watch a third one, I think. But we'll see. I've got a feeling it will be a quicker fight this time. But you never know, you never know. Johnny Fisher, when you're talking about the crowd, obviously it's at the Copper Bosh Arena. The crowd will be like in football when they say the crowd are like the 12th man. This could be the case of Johnny Fisher. He'll have the crowd behind him. And a few people have said, I'm sure I heard it on the Fight Disciples as well, that once the crowd get behind him, can he resist just going in all guns blazing to satisfy the crowd? A bloodthirsty crowd baying for blood. Will he be able to resist just going full throttle? Will he be able to keep composed, keep his game plan, work to his game plan? I think he'll be able to keep composed, work to his game plan. His training camp, he's been at Fuerteventura, I think. And I think he wanted to get somewhere where he had minimal distractions, where he could really just focus on the fighting, his fitness, strength and conditioning, his technique, and all that good stuff. So I personally think, and I'll do a preview, but I think it would be a different Johnny Fisher in this fight. It would probably be a different Dave Allen as well, because he sounds like physically, and he's been working quite a bit with his strength and conditioning coach who is with him at the moment in London. So I think both guys are going to take it more. They took it seriously anyway, the pro athletes, but you know what I mean. They're going to take it a level up serious-wise. Yeah, maybe Fisher got too used to dispatching people quickly. He beat Babbage in 24 seconds. He's knocked people out. Dave Allen thinks that he's going to win on points, but I think he was joking. I think he's been sarcastic. That's perfectly feasible, and that really was the situation last time. Unofficially, he did sort of win. The press conference is not too much to write home about that one, so I'll do the Fisher, Allen, Wardley, Huni press conferences. But that's all I got from that, really. It was fairly pleasant. Neither fighter really spoke tons or really gave anything away too much. Don't think Johnny Fisher's cornerman wanted to give the game plan away, which is fair enough. So, yeah, press conference one. It was a press conference. Obviously, they are what they are. You just sort of listening to what they say, listening to what they're saying about how the fighter's feeling, the training camp, what they did in the build-up to the fight. If it's a bonus, obviously, if there's a bit of back and forth. But if you were expecting fireworks, maybe, I mean, you don't really need to go back and watch it, I guess. It was fairly, which is great. That's some people's style. Second press conference I watched was Fabio Wardley versus Justice Huni. Justice Huni said it's his coming out party, and he's not a big talker, which is fair enough. He's a big walker. He does his talking in the ring. Terrifying guy, man. Fucking massive noggin on him. Yeah, that's a huge head. It's his coming out party, he said. He's confident. He did say Fabio Wardley only has power, which I think rubbed Fabio Wardley up the wrong way. And it rubbed Michael Uffo up the wrong way, who had a brilliant interaction with Eddie Hearn. We'll get to that in a second. Frank Warren did his usual Frank Warren thing, which he's a promoter, so he's doing his promoting thing, which is fair enough. It will be that one. I'm looking forward to that one. Out of the two fights, I'm definitely looking forward to Wardley versus Huni much more than Allen and Fisher. So I'll watch this a bit more closely, I guess. Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn does Eddie Hearn things. There's sort of the Queensberry Matchroom rivalry thing going on, but as far as I'm aware, Queensberry are whooping Matchroom's ass as it stands, so we'll see how this pans out. Yeah, Eddie Hearn was having a bit of banter, a bit of back and forth. It was quite fun. It was quite funny, to be honest. The Michael Uffo guy, who's in Wardley's camp, he said, Daddy didn't give me a silver spoon, and there was a bit of back and forth. It was nothing malicious, but Eddie Hearn will have heard that many times. The silver spoon thing, and I didn't get given I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth and all that stuff. So he's used. He's probably got 1,000 replies to that memorized in his head. Yeah, it was quite enjoyable, actually. Did a lull or two, because I thought the interaction was quite funny. Yeah, like I said, Huni said all he has is power. Dillian White, who is also on the bill, he's been added to the bill, which is interesting. It's interesting to see who he fights. Will it be a bigger name of someone we know, or will it be someone? Will he have a tune-up fight? I guess it was a pretty bad injury, but not the worst. I don't know what the situation is with that. He wants to stay active. He said he wants to stay active rather than wait for a big fight. So I guess he's dropped a strong clue there. It would probably be someone good, but probably not a sort of a commonplace name, if you will. But yeah, Dillian White, obviously Fabio Wardley's his boy. He's supporting Fabio Wardley. He's on his undercard this time, which is a role reversal. And he said, no, if you think he's just got power, then yeah, that's great. If you just think that, go with that and see what happens. Obviously, he hasn't just got power. The backgrounds they've come from are a bit different. But yeah, his main weapon is power, and Fabio Wardley correctly said, if you look at Deontay Wilder, he did have explosive power, and that was his main thing, and it did serve him pretty well, which it did, to be fair. It served him extremely well. Not so much in the past 5 or 6 fights, but obviously he's made a career of having that one hitter quitter, as they say. It was funny, yeah. Fabio Wardley said something about Ipswich, and he made it sound like it's South Central Los Angeles. I don't know, I've never been to Ipswich. Maybe if I go there, I need to not wear the wrong colours in gang territory, or someone might bust a cap, pop a cap in my ass. But yeah, no, it was fine. It was an okay press conference. Fairly enjoyable. There was no tables flying or anything. I imagine if my fight with Miller still was on, there'd be a few tables flying about. Someone would be popping to IKEA to replace a few tables the next day, I think, at Portman Road. But yeah, that was 2 of the 3. I'll do a separate video on misfits, because I wanted to keep this one about 10 or 11 minutes, which it is now. If you have any comments or thoughts, let me know. Like and subscribe. But again, nothing major, but the press conferences, I like to watch them. Obviously, if I want to do this right, I'll get my thoughts out to you guys once I've watched them. Thanks for watching. Couch Potato Fights. Fred's there somewhere as well, as usual. Taking for a walk once I've done these videos. Have a good day. Peace.